Hello everybody, this is Elisabet ASMR and welcome to this very professional setup of my long-awaited advice column. So yeah, you're looking at a blank page. I was trying to find a name for this series or whatever, and it was just corny and I got goosebumps. It was so cliche. So we are working with a blank piece of paper, no, a page. So if you have any suggestions what to call this advice column, whatever, I would really appreciate it. So I'm just going to be filming this on my computer screen, so you don't have to watch the video, you can just listen. It's going to be a relaxing series, perhaps not ASMR unless voices are your thing. And I just want to clarify some things. I'm not doing this because I think I am an all-knowing God. I am very aware that I have very little life experience with my 28 years. And I do not believe that I know everything and can advise you on everything. I do have some experience and I have something to offer. I just want this to be sort of fun, and I personally love the advice columns in like old lady magazines, and it's kind of there where I'm drawing my inspirations. And you can take my advice or leave it. What I say is not written in stone, and it's not that is what you have to do or should do or everybody should do. It's just, just take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if you have that way of saying things in English, but it means just take it easy. So yeah, let's move this very professional setup along. I have a few emails I'm going to be reading. I haven't been able to go through all of them. I got very nice responses on this, so thank you very much for that. I'm just going to scroll down to the first one, and I've of course made everything anonymous with blacked out names or things that you might be able to find out who it is. So I'm just going to read the emails and then give my advice or what I think. So, hello Betty, I hope you're doing well. I'm a psychology student who is graduating this May, and I'm worried I might not be able to find a job after I graduate. Right now I'm just interning at a non-profit organization, but it's only for course credit, so I'm not getting paid, and I don't think I will be able to find a paying job with this particular organization. How do you think I should go about finding a job after graduation? Sincerely, blank. Now, first of all, congratulations on graduating as a psychology student. That is very cool and a very important job to have. I think when you are going to apply for a job, it's very important that you know how to write a proper job application. If you do not know how to do that, then perhaps find someone who knows, or ask someone to show them what they have written and have been successful in. I think that is step one. And then step two, get some confidence. We usually sometimes go into a job application or job interview sort of feeling like we are the one who have to show our worth to work at that particular organization or firm. When the organization is equally in need of you, they need good workers. It's of course intimidating as a newly graduate. I remember quite well, I've been to quite a few job interviews since I graduated, and what I would advise you first of all, if you get nervous like me and get diarrhea before like exams or job interviews, just take some Imodium. That helps. And also, I know it sounds so cliche, but just try to be as much authentically yourself as you can. Of course, you only want to show your good sides at a job interview, but I remember, I think it was one of my first job interviews, perhaps my first, because the first job I got as a nurse was I didn't have to interview because I had been a practitioner. No, that is like a doctor in English, isn't it? I had been, it was alongside my studies. I was there, which was a part of my nursing studies, whatever. Stupid third language. But yeah, my first proper job interview, I got really dressed up and I put like on a shirt, like a proper shirt on, and I never wear them, like button-ups, and like a nice jacket, and I straightened my hair, and I wore I wasn't like made up like I was going to the club, but I did add on like more foundation, and I really wanted just to look very, very pulled together and serious, and they would just have to hire me. But what happened was that I didn't feel like myself at all, and I totally blew it. I was nervous, and I didn't really know what role I was supposed to be playing in this new setup I had given myself. So yeah, don't do that. I don't even know if you have any clue what I'm talking about, but just try to be yourself, and get some confidence. People want you as a worker. You are good at what you do, and if you don't know anything because you just graduated, you will learn it. So yeah, and break the ice. If you are nervous, then tell them at the job interview to say, I apologize, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm so excited about this opportunity. And as soon as you say these things, it sort of takes it off your shoulders instead of you have to, pretend to be playing it cool. I hope this made some sense to you, and good luck, and congratulations. It's very exciting. So, the next one is a bit longer. Hi Elisabet, I need your advice or opinion on a life choice. I'm from Canada, and since 2016 I've been going back and forth to Iceland. I've fallen in love there, didn't work out, I'm sorry. But afterwards I went back because I got a really cool internship, and right after that was over I got another one in Iceland. I feel like Iceland is a second home to me. I love it there, but I also love the comfort of being in my actual home country, like having my car, being able to understand everyone wherever I go, and of course my friends and family. There are things about living in Reykjavik that make me anxious, such as not knowing the language, and I don't look Icelandic in the slightest. I stick out, it makes me feel self-conscious, and maybe this is why I feel nervous about living there long term. Anyway, since you moved from Iceland to Denmark, do you ever feel like you made a mistake leaving home? I'm afraid if I move to Iceland permanently or keep going there frequently, I'm going to regret it. Do you have advice for someone who feels stuck between two worlds? Thanks. If it helps, I'm 24 years old. And then blank. Thank you for writing me. I definitely get your dilemma. And you haven't been living in Iceland for very long. I remember this in the beginning of when I moved to Denmark. I was extremely homesick because I hadn't made a life for myself in the same way as I had in Iceland. I didn't have like a lot of friends. I didn't like have roots. But I also think that moving from Iceland to Denmark is different, because first of all the language are not, they are pretty related, so learning Danish wasn't as difficult for me as it would be for a Canadian to learn Icelandic. I don't stick out. People usually think I'm Danish until I open my mouth and my beautiful accent comes out. So, I mean, your situation is a bit different. And I also believe that your gut feeling is something you should listen to. I never really had that like regret of moving, but that was also because the opportunities in Iceland at the time that I moved like 6 months before the crisis hit Iceland in 2008. So buying a house or getting an education or even renting was much easier in Denmark than Iceland at the time. So for me it was the right thing to do. And also it helps that you tell me that you are 24, because I think at this moment perhaps you should just enjoy where life takes you, and perhaps not look at Iceland as a permanent location, but something you will be doing for the next year. Perhaps put a time frame on it, and when that year is over, then you can re-evaluate how the situation is, because perhaps you found great friends and have gotten roots in Iceland and have fallen in love and everything. So to sum up, I get what you're saying, but there is a difference, especially learning the language. You have a much greater task ahead of you than I ever had, and also you are young. Live in the moment and see what happens. Put a time frame on it. It makes it easier to be in instead of like, oh, what is going to happen? And I never feel that it's been a mistake for me personally leaving home. I don't like it when my grandparents and my father are getting older and I'm not there as much as I would like to. But if I have to look at me and my situation and my opportunities, it was definitely not a mistake. So yeah, I hope this helped you. I think it's extremely cool that you have tried to live abroad, even if you end up living in Canada again. It's an experience. It's amazing to try something else than what you have grown up to. So yeah, good luck with everything. Moving on. Yeah, this one is a bit bigger. No, not bigger. That's what she said. This one is a bit longer. Hi, Elisabet HB. Tried my best with the comma thing. Well, didn't succeed. I'd love to hear any advice you have regarding something I'm going through right now. I've recently gone on a break with my girlfriend of 7 years. I'm just going to sip some coffee. This is long. We've lived together for 6 of those years, get along very well, love each other, have great communication and lots of fun. There are some long-standing issues. She feels overly guilty. I am very particular about how things should be done, cleaning, packing, work, cooking, you name it, which can cause tension. There are some sexual imbalances, some other small personality things, and things which we feel we are missing in the other person. We also both have feelings for other people which we need to explore. Her for her band leader, we're both musicians and met in school, and myself for my tentant. It's not weird, well a little, but I'm only 2 years older than her, and we are great friends, so not molesty at all. I did not think molesty, but it's good you pointed that out. I don't have many good friends. My tentant is easily my closest friend. Albeit, not quite sure on that word, for my girlfriend. We recently gone on a trip together and grew closer as well. Since my girlfriend moved out, we are both exploring other relationships, and I find myself in a bit of a strange place. If I decide to get back together with my girlfriend, my tentant will undoubtedly have to move out, and we may not be friends anymore, although we'd like to, but I just don't see that being realistic. I think it's too soon to say I will or won't get back with my girlfriend. We're both working on ourselves at this time and hoping that will bring clarity. But the thought of not being with her in the future is very hard to take, plus all of my friends that I would see are her friends first, and it leaves me quite lonely and like I lost a huge part of my life. My girlfriend, it's a difficult word for me, I don't know why, and I also work together a lot with music. Check out our band, blank, decided to make that anonymous as well. And that may be hard for my tenant, as she has been in this situation before, which ended badly for her and would likely feel jealousy. She would also like to know that I am committed to her and don't want to get back with my girlfriend at some point. Although she's not rushing a decision, she's understanding, thankfully. There are good days and there are incredibly hard days. It's going to be a long journey. Sorry for the novel, any advice is welcome. Thank you for continuing making videos. You are so unique and entertaining. Thank you for that. Yeah, that is quite a triangle you have found yourself in there. I think I'm going to break it down a bit. The long-standing issues you have, I'm just going to take them. She feels overly guilty. I'm very particular about how things should be done. Cleaning, packing, work, cooking, you name it. You sound like a handful. I'm just being honest. I think in a relationship you have to sort of meet in the middle, compromise, as cliche as that sounds. But otherwise, this sounds like pretty typical. These are typical issues in a long-term relationship, which you have to be working on continuously. And the fact that you both have feelings for other people, I mean, it does complicate things. But let me tell you, even though you are in a long-term relationship, that does not mean that your feelings for other people get turned off. It depends on what you have decided. I have only my own relationship to reflect on, but I have decided on my husband and he has decided on me. But we are also very aware that we are people with emotions, and sometimes you meet another person which you just click with and the chemistry is there, and then it's up to you and your partner to decide, what do I do about these feelings? Do I feed them and risk my relationship, or do I keep a distance or be aware that I should be careful? Which is what we have done in our relationship. So everything you are describing is extremely normal. But what you have then decided to do is explore these feelings with the other people. And I think in the long term, if you want to be monogamous, of course, if that is what you want, then exploring those feelings you have for other people every time, that is going to make things very complicated, because those feelings for other people will come. You can't fight that as a person. I don't believe in soulmates, that once you meet that person you can't find anyone else. I believe that we are compatible with multiple people. But the reason I believe in a long-term relationship is because when you've been together for 7 years like you have, my husband and I, we have been together for 9.5 years now. Having that history and knowing each other that well, that is like, it's such an amazing thing. We can just exchange looks, which I'm pretty sure you and your girlfriend probably also can, and we just immediately know what is up, and that is amazing. But you've also now incorporated other people in your relationship or your previous relationship. I'm not quite sure where you are at this moment, which means that some people can get hurt. So this is on you, man. I can't tell you what to do. Me personally, I believe in a long-term relationship. But as soon as other people are involved and you have decided to explore those feelings, then perhaps that is best for you. I don't know. And I'm not saying that if you catch feelings for someone that you should just always ignore it. Of course, there have been many times where people have been in a long-term relationship and met someone else, and that was just what was best for them. I really think, you have to make a decision. Just make a decision. Having it all in limbo is not healthy for either of them or you. I don't even know if your girlfriend wants to get back together, if she is like into that band leader. But just if you want my advice, I would clean up in it. I would make some decisions and then work on them. Yeah, good luck. Thank you for writing me. I apologize if I don't have like solid advice other than my experience with long-term relationships. And also the thing where you say that you are very particular about things should be done, like ease up on that, man. I mean, my husband and I are pretty similar. I'm very messy. I like things clean, but I don't need things tidy, but he needs things tidy. So that has been a continuous struggle, but he knows me now and he lets me live. So yeah. And yeah, good luck. I'm done. I don't know more. Yes, another long one. Hello. First of all, love your channel. Your video game things are especially helpful. Second of all, if you do end up reading this, please do not mention my email address. Maybe something like Coco. Yeah, hi Coco. This professional setup does not show your email. I work as a caregiver for a woman who has dementia, and her daughter wants me to basically entertain her mother. I am currently finishing my undergraduate in social work, so it's an interesting job where I can work on my schooling, often at work. The advice I am asking is managing the sometimes illogical requests of her daughter. The woman I care for, whom I love deeply, has an open wound on her foot, gout, and has had a long and complicated issue with one eye that affects her depth perception. I try to get her up and moving, but sometimes, as a 19-year-old, she just wants to chill and be left the fuck alone. And reasonably so, in my opinion. The daughter is convinced that if she isn't basically speed walking around the memory care facility in which she is resident, that she will most surely die. The daughter tries to make the mother eat things she doesn't enjoy. I try to explain that while it's about willpower, it's also about ease of feeling, and that perhaps forcing her mother to eat food that she does not enjoy, or walk at a very quick pace when she's obviously in discomfort, is perhaps too impatient, and basically I cannot think of a way to tell this daughter that her fretting is ultimately resulting in cruelty. I sometimes question if I'm being crazy or too overprotective, but I feel like perhaps I am fated, even though I don't believe in fate, to intervene in this situation. Any advice on dealing with a pushy daughter of a mother with dementia would be great, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know why I'm missing a part of it, but whatever. The lady I care for, I think it's supposed to say, is 5'2" feet. Is that how you say it? and only just over 100 pounds. She does not eat unhealthy foods, but she is picky. She is open to mental stimuli like puzzles and even intellectual conversation. She will go on for walks, but doesn't want to rush around, and certainly doesn't want to be ordered to go faster. These are areas I most struggle with her daughter. They both come from families of extreme privilege, and I am from a blue-collar background, and it is often impressed upon me by the daughter that I don't understand because of my financial background. This is pretty common in America. I feel that this is wrong, and she is pushing her mother beyond her limits of her comfort for the sake of social appearance, which pisses me off. This was long, I'm sorry. I hope you